Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fore Podcast. Tees and Don Julio here today. Hope you guys had a good week. Just want to say thank you for all the support that we've had over the last few weeks. We've seen our numbers started to grow slowly as well, not just on Spotify, but also on TikTok. I think by the time this episode comes out, we'll probably have around 500 followers on TikTok. Julio's been killing it on there so far. We are still trying to pump out content whenever we can. And if you guys haven't checked out our TikTok, definitely check that out, as well as our Instagram and YouTube. But to get things kicked off, Julio, I know the LIV tournament, they just wrapped up in Australia, in Adelaide, I believe, and it apparently was nuts. What are your thoughts on what you heard?
It looks sick, in my opinion. Like, I would love to see that more close encounter type of environment for like the waste management. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, when you think about like the ticket cost, like, come on, to be on the what is it, the 16th hole? Yeah, the 16th
Mm-hmm.
hole at a TPC Scottsdale. Like, to be there, to have one of the booths, like, I would love to be right on top of it. I mean, it's basically like
Mm-hmm.
courtside at an NBA game,
Right?
but man, what absolute mayhem when Brooks Koepka's brother, sorry, that's a little bit disrespectful. Let me find his first name. Chase.
Is it Chase? Yeah, I was blanking too. It's Chase, I
Yeah,
think so. Yeah.
yeah, Chase Koepka. Sorry, I know he's a good golfer too. But when he made that hole in one, that was insane. I mean, it looked more exciting than what it would be at TPC, and yet I will say I haven't yet experienced that 16th hole, but to see this on a new tour, you know, like live is starting to kind of come around. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
what people I don't care what people say. Like, everyone says, Liv's not going to make it, but man, these guys are just they're just playing they're just playing golf. They're just playing casual golf. They're
Mm-hmm.
just having fun doing what they want to do, compared to like, freaking Patrick Cantlay standing over a ball for 5 minutes on the tee box, or having to walk out his step. It's like these guys are just getting into it and go. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. It's
Love the
growing on me.
vibe. Love
Yeah,
the vibe. Great
it's
vibe.
growing on me. It's growing on me.
I
Um,
mean, and we were talking just before this, and I know the tournament was in freaking Australia,
yeah,
and I watched not too much of it, but I didn't watch any of the Zurich Classic in New Orleans in America, like for the PGA
I
Tour,
didn't
like,
either.
and it was like the only team event I think on the PGA Tour because the other ones are just match play, I think, for the Dell matchmaking play,
Yeah.
but but I didn't watch any of that, and the only time that I actually watched some golf was at night right before bed. I'm like, oh wait, it's like 10:30, 11. Let me check on the Live app and see if anyone's playing, and boom, they're there, they're live, and it was awesome. I mean,
Well,
uh,
and the thing. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but the
no,
thing
you're
on
good.
top of that was like, I think this was like the first time on social media, like on Twitter, on Instagram, and on TikTok, where I was seeing more highlights of Live than I was actually the Zurich Classic, or the New Orleans tournament. Like,
Right, right.
I just saw that the only thing that I saw from the PGA was one of the players walked near the bank of the water,
Is there a
and
gator or
a
something?
gator popped up and, like, did its hiss where it like rattled the water, and then all of a sudden he's like frozen, and then it just went away. That was the like, if that's the most exciting thing at a golf
Mm-hmm.
tournament, like, mm, yeah, you got beat there.
Right. I mean, like
Like,
like you were saying, the atmosphere itself looked epic because it reminded me, if anyone's seen the movie, like the greatest game ever played with Shia LaBeouf, back in those
Happy
days, and
Gilmore.
we can't go with wrong Happy Gilmore, but I'm just saying, like, in the sense that, like, people would surround the green, right? Like when everyone was putting, they didn't have the ropes like they did today, where people were, backed off and they had all this space to walk around. Like, it looked like there were like 7 to 8 people deep around. I don't know if it was like the 18th hole, but it just seemed like, I don't know. I've never been a part of a golf tournament, whether it's a club tournament or something, but I'm sure when like it gets towards the end of a golf tournament, just for like a golf club or country club, people surround the green and watch it right there live, right? And it kind of felt like that. And I would assume that everyone felt safe because nothing happened, nothing negative happened, which is usually the concern. Some idiot, some drunk person is just going to run up and do something ridiculous, which you would probably expect it in Australia, especially with so many people. But
Come
it
on,
seemed
man.
really cool.
Come on, man. Forester beers aren't that strong. That's all they got down there.
Hey man,
Or
Foster's,
Foster's,
Foster's
Foster's,
Australian
Foster's.
for beer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was like the
Foster's
ultimate
beer. It's
commercial in the '90s.
it's basically Coors Light.
Hey, well, if you
Or
get enough of
actually,
anything, man,
yeah,
you'll feel it. But like you mentioned also before this, we started the podcast. Like they sold out, and I mean, like a lot of people are putting
people
it to
were,
like, like,
yeah,
oh well, it's Australia, they don't have events out there, and it's like who even if they had a
there's,
freaking tour, like, dude, the fact that they sold out and they had a great time, it looked amazing. And you were about to mention that
yeah,
people were
they sold out and they still had people trying to like get in. Like you haven't heard of anything like that since Tiger's domination on the PGA Tour in in the late 90s to early 2000s. Like I mean, sure, Australia may not have a lot of events. They may not have much going on besides 18 of the most poisonous animals in the world that will just ruin your life. But
the
other than
massive
that, like,
spiders and stuff
yeah, the
out
massive
there.
spiders, the Komodo dragons that
Yeah.
just
The
pop out of the
roos, the
bushes.
kangaroos,
Yeah, yeah,
but
the lava lizards, like the giant tarantulas, like, but
that take
still,
over
it's
freaking villages. It's
yeah,
freaking
exactly,
insane.
exactly. But still, I mean, aside from that, it's like the fact that people are trying to break in. I mean, you don't hear about people doing that unless it's like for a concert. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Coachella was just this last weekend. You didn't hear anything about it, and
Mm-hmm.
yet still, it's like people were trying to sneak in. People were hopping fences, finding ways around to get in through a broken fence, to hop over a fence through the bushes and get in there. No one was talking about it. Also, I know with Patty O'Shea, just to take a brief commercial break there. Remember to go over to Upside Golf and use Fore Dad's promo code to get you either a rangefinder, thunderstick, a phone mount, um, magnetic towel, anything that they got, that you're desiring, they got it. So remember, Upside Golf, Fore Dad's promo, get you 20% off and support Patty and Upside. All right. So back to the show here. We spoke about Phil and how he was looking kind of beat up,
Frail.
but
My
yeah, kind of
gosh.
frail.
Yeah.
But dude, the guys out here dropping bombs, absolute hellacious seeds out there. I mean, he drove what? He drove two greens out there. Like,
Well, I got a question. Do you think that how Texas is like known for like hard, like the Texas wedge and all that, right? So like hard ground, really, really
yeah,
hard where the ball bounces. Do you think that Australia has a similar climate? Because obviously, like I think Australia, the only places that people live in Australia willingly and wanting to is around the coastline. Like it's very rare. Like 95% of like the actual like circumference of like the Australia, people don't live because it's all just desert and hot and the outback. People don't want to live there. But do you think that might have? I mean, don't get me wrong. Phil can hit bombs. Like that's never been a question. But do you think that might
hellacious
have had some
seeds.
hellacious?
Um, that's a really good point. I I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I mean, I would assume that you know a country club would probably be in some of the more nicer kind of
Right.
areas, so it probably is somewhere on the coastline.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't like drive it 30 yards short and then let it roll up. I mean,
Mm.
he was carrying greens. He hit one that was like maybe 15 feet before the pin, and it just rolled, hit the slope, kind of came back, and he had maybe an 8 foot, 10 foot putt for eagle.
Did he
Like,
drain it?
I didn't see if he did. I
Probably
assume
didn't.
he,
If they didn't show it, I don't know.
yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't
I know
know. I
I
mean,
wouldn't.
it is Phil, so who knows? But still, it's impressive. It's really impressive to see that he's doing that, and to see that he's still competing with those guys. Like, you know, um, it's really cool. It was nice to kind of see those highlights and see him do his thing. It looked like Dustin had a pretty good tournament out there too.
Hmm.
Brooksy's still. I mean, dude, I watched some of the highlights of Brooks, and I gotta say, dude, like it's nice watching him play that just that absolute like tiger golf where he's just dominating. I know everyone's on his ass about the Masters and how he just blew it, but ultimately, dude, the kid's healthy, man. He's looking like a beast out there. I mean,
I'm
he's
not looking.
in.
I'm looking forward to the next few majors
Yeah,
that he's eligible for because I mean, I would like again, whoever it is at a live, I would love for someone from live just to win one of the majors because I know all of the diehards or the tryhards or whatever for the PGA Tour are just so
yeah,
into. Oh, they only played 3 rounds. They're not ready. They're
yeah,
not able to. And you saw what happened to Brooks, and that just gives them more fuel to the fire. Um, whether it's Cam Smith, whether it's Dustin Johnson, whether it's Filligan, I mean, the
yeah.
way he finished in the Masters, there's definitely a possibility, definitely a wild card for sure. But Brooks would be awesome. And for anyone to win from Live, they also add, what is it, like a few years onto them being automatically qualified for those majors, right? So if you, besides the Masters, where like if you win the Masters, you can play every year.
Hmm.
You don't have to qualify like Joel Dahman did, drink a couple, White Claws at the turn and pray for shooting 5 under. Yep, right.
Yeah.
But I would love it. I honestly would love it because it seemed
Well,
like we talked about it with the Masters. No one really had an issue with people from Live. Guys from Live were chill with guys from PGA Tour, and that's just a media driven thing.
I mean, again, it's bad bad news moves good media. So
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know, um, but in other news, it looks like Bryson DeChambeau, Phil Mickelson, and Dustin Johnson are actually trying to push more for like a call of an inclusive system to all live players to get in on majors because some of these guys were already on the PGA Tour.
Hmm.
They should have the opportunity for they should have opportunities to compete in majors and
Hmm.
and earn their place in history. You know,
Hmm.
and I think this may catch some backlash, but you know when it comes to regular tournaments like the Zurich's Classic and the New Mexico Open and stuff that's coming up, like okay, we all know that those are just gappers in between the next major, but I
Right.
think all of us as fans, like we love majors week. We love
Of course.
when the players is coming up, the Open. It's like
Yep.
it shouldn't matter, where. Again, I think I mentioned this on our last podcast too. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter where you come from,
Right.
right? Like majors are for the best players. Like, and if you
100%.
can if you can handle your own out there, like what's it matter if you're playing on the Live Tour?
Right?
You're just mad because you're disrupting something, you're changing a system. Like,
You get more guaranteed money than another guy. I mean, like, imagine Mito Pereira, who had the PGA Championship in
probably
his
one of the,
pocket,
yeah,
but like now he has no chance to play in a major unless he qualifies because he's joined Live.
yeah,
So,
but he
like,
sucks anyways.
he was in full swing. Give
Yeah,
it.
only because he probably had one of the worst blow up holes in golf history next to freaking Kevin Na with a 25.
My gosh, man, that was hard to watch, man. Like, as happy as I
I
am
mean,
for JT,
the swing, like
dude,
he's like, yeah, I'm gonna hit,
the
I'm gonna hit
nerves
it,
were
I'm
there.
gonna hit it low, I'm gonna hit it low, and then
No,
drop
no,
it. I'm like,
the nerves threw him
yeah,
off.
for sure.
They got to him because it's just like it's kind of like when you go to an interview and like you've gone to school for like a particular job. You have like a high degree. You're preparing and like you think, okay, this is what my life's come to, right? Okay, like I prepared for this moment. Don't blow it. And the interview comes and you just like blank on the answers. You just like
Yeah,
can't think. And so like Mito gets up there. He's like, dude, I've been doing this for years. I finally get my chance. I have I think it was like a 1 or 2 shot lead, whatever it was on the last hole.
yeah,
He was at least one up, and he just blanks. How do I swing a golf club? Like, oh crap! This is when he needed the Patrick Cantlay 5 minute. Take your time. To
if I was his caddy, I would have been like, take a 3 iron, take a 3 iron. Like you need to shoot. a 5 or better. You get 5, we go into a playoff. You get 4, we win this thing.
Dude, I would
Take it.
literally, if I noticed that something was up, because you're a caddy, right? You know the guy. You're not just going to be, especially in a major, you're not just going to be someone off the street that they don't know. You've known him for a while. You've been around him for a while. You see him doing that. I'm literally going to like throw a elbow in and like throw him off, so much where they're just like, dude, like what the heck, to make them not think about the moment that they're in, instead of just being like, oh, dude, something. I need to like just shove him in the chest. Like, dude, what do you
just walk up behind him and pinch the back of his arm? Just like, wow.
Yeah. Right?
You good? You good?
Right? Oh, my bad. Do you see that? Freaking wasp, bro? Dude,
Yeah.
God, man. But I mean, like,
where's my EpiPen?
But I mean, like you mentioned before when we were talking about Full Swing a few months ago, like they showed that freaking PGA Championship like in every freaking episode. And imagine being mute up where you can't even watch that thing. How brutal would that be? It's like a nightmare. Yeah, I thought we did this for like 3 episodes already. Are we done here? Like, when are we gonna end this, man?
Well, it starts off with Jordan, and then it goes, then it goes into JT's story. And it's literally showing the whole thing of how JT's like, yeah, man, yeah. Dad, like, wow, you guys don't mess around. I barely had any time to enjoy this. We got to get you going. We got to get you going.
Oh man, dude, and then we'll be. But I mean, Full Swing 2 is gonna be awesome. I can't wait for that whenever that comes out, maybe next year. But I think did we mention it briefly about the Will Ferrell, how he's doing a sitcom of like a LIV Tour player who left the PGA Tour to join LIV. It's like being written right now, and obviously it's sitcoms or TV shows, right? It's not like a movie. I think so, which is odd.
I think so. Yeah,
which is odd because Will Ferrell's a movie guy.
You sure it's not just going to be like a Netflix original or something?
Dude, I don't know, but I mean, like, imagine if it was like a Blades of Glory, but for golf, or a Talladega Nights.
Hey, those are great movies.
Man. Oh, they are. That's what I'm saying, dude. I couldn't wait. I think it'd be hilarious.
We're gonna skate to one song and one song only. What? Why? Because it gets the people going.
It's provocative. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think that'll be dope. But like. Will Ferrell, you can't go wrong as long as it's a comedy. Like it's gonna be a classic, and he's killed it in every movie. The kicking and screaming as a kid's soccer coach.
Break his clavicle.
Break someone's clavicle. Why are you whispering? To add dramatic effect.
Yeah. Listen here, Dicka. You go over there and you get me a juice box.
I'm not mad. I'm just thirsty.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I know, like,
juice box. I could sit there and quote that whole movie, dude.
One of my favorite quotes is really quickly. One of my favorite quotes is when they're like, "Hey, coach, did you order the pizzas yet?" He goes, "Yes, Connor, I have ordered the pizzas, but I have decided that if the pizzas do not arrive, we will eat Byung Sung." What? And he just starts backing up in his chair. I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. But he does look pretty good, doesn't he? Like, yeah. He does look pretty tasty.
We're going to howl at the moon like wolves. Come on, join me. It's so funny because, like, I'm sure you probably get this with Stephanie, but, like, whenever I quote movies like that, Isis is like, haha. What is that from? And I'm like,
oh man, dude! Back in college, I don't know about you, but like in college baseball, dude, all we would do at Hofstra was literally just quote movies. Like we would yell it from the dugouts. That would just be it. Like, what was it? What was the movie with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg? The cops.
Oh
man, you know what I'm talking about. Just other guys. The other guys.
Yeah.
It's Christine. You say my nice name.
You gotta let me fly. Yeah. Arnold Palmy alerts. Arnold Palmy alert. I did things with you that I have never done. Yes,
you would think with my beard. You would think with my beard that I'm completely hairy, but all shaved.
Yeah, all shaved. Wahlberg's like, okay.
I've seen some great memes from that with golf, where it's like my golf ball when I'm looking to stripe one down the fairway. Yeah, you see where I'm aiming for? Yep, aim for the bushes. All right.
Yep. Yeah, I love that one. Or like, what's the one where he's shouting? He's like, no, no. Like, I forget oh, where the guy's like going to commit suicide, and he goes, "Oh, look, he's flying!" Like, I love that one.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Don. A lot of people are starting to talk down. A lot of people are starting to murmur.
Yeah,
Some people
they
think
don't
you don't
think
have the
you're going to
balls to
do
do
it.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. I love that one, dude.
Oh, look,
It's
he's
so funny.
flying.
Oh, look, he's flying. Yeah, it looks like they turned this Prius into a real F Shack.
Dirty Mike and the
Okay,
boys. Are you Dirty Mike? Are you Dirty Mike?
sure are. We're gonna have sweet sex in that Prius again. We will.
They're not all
All right.
first round picks. They're not
Yeah.
all first round picks, man.
It's
All right, getting
beautiful,
back
John.
into
It's
golf here.
beautiful. No, so I have to add something. So I have you've met him. I have a really good friend who is an absolute savant when it comes to movie quotes, and that's Tony. Tony, if you ever get the chance to play golf with Tony, Anthony, the one who we had him
Okay,
as our
okay,
first guest
okay.
from Golf Tech.
Yep.
He will sit there through 18 holes and quote 20 different movies. It's hilarious. He will sit there and quote every movie that you could possibly think of, and just it will crack you up. It's
Sounds like
literally
my kind of guy. Sounds like
yeah,
my kind of guy.
yeah. He's
Oh
oh my
man.
god, it's so funny. We have a buddy named Dane who also works for the same company as Tony, but me and Tony growing up, like when we were in our 20s, like going out and playing golf, I always just thought it was hilarious. Like I'm like, dude, how do you know all these? Like it's insane. And then finally he said he played golf with Dane, and Dane was like, dude, you are literally the savant of like movie quotes. Like you can quote anything and everything no matter what. And ever since then, it's just stuck in my head. Like every time we go play golf with Tony, I'm like, all right, I'm about to expect at least 20 to 25 movie quotes today through 18 holes. Like, I'm going to get a good laugh. It's hilarious.
Back up challenge with movie
Yeah,
quotes.
exactly. Dude, I would love to do that. So, actually, speaking of, you know, Patty O'Shea is going to have a golf tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to get in contact with him to see if maybe we can join
Yeah.
and, just go out there and
When?
I don't know.
When? Do you know?
I'll have to double check. I have it in my phone, but yeah, I would love to go out there and
Heck
sponsor a hole or something, like do something to like promote Four Dads. Like either we have like our wives out there handing out like stickers, or I don't know, we make some koozies or something.
Ooh.
We got a couple bombshells for wives, so I think everyone would be like, hey, like what's up, and then they get it from Carter and Adelina.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that'd be fun. But all right, so back to the actual podcast now that we're done screwing around. But
that's what this podcast is all about, bro. We're just two dads talk about golf, talk about things. It's the first time we've really taken a turn and not talked about golf in a while. But yeah,
I got a question though.
Go for it.
When do you think we might see Tiger again? Since he just had his back and ankle fused again, and when do you
get a little rebar in the leg? I don't know. Honestly, I mean, I don't know the severity of it, but I would assume whenever the next major is that he's going to try to play. If it's something light, I mean, the way he was limping did not look good. It looked very painful. I felt it, man, when he was walking. Like, and I don't feel pain. I'm usually that person that shows my wife, like, oh, watch this guy. He's gonna jump and he's gonna land on his leg and it's gonna snap the other way. Oh my gosh,
dude! I get a crack out of those like gym fail videos where you see like dudes trying to use the leg machine. Just
help!
I get a crack out of those.
I do too, and I show Stephanie those. She goes, "Oh, why'd you show me that? Now I feel that. Ah, my leg. Ah."
It's the same way. Because Isis is she's all big on her CrossFit. So like to see stuff like that, she's like, oh, like,
yeah. Last thing you want to do is think about that while going up for like some heavy weights.
So hold on. So speaking of that, like literally the other day, I was watching this TikTok while I was putting a video up. Came up on our feed. I don't know how it got there, but it was like this jack dude with like ripped calves, right? And he's like, yeah, just out here working out my boy, getting him into getting him into like doing a he goes getting him into the gym, getting the legs right, and he goes he goes, whoa there, big fella. He's like, you want to light up that weight? He goes, nah, bro, I got this. He goes, no, you should light up the weight. The dude was doing like 450 pounds of calf raises, and here comes this guy like, like these noodles for legs. And he legit gets underneath the weight, and he gets it up, and you just see his ankle go just break. And the guy's like, yo, I told you, big fella. It was just like slow motion.
I've never laughed so hard on something that I can't even see, but oh man, I can just imagine.
Dude, I mean, come on. I think we've all been there as like as athletes. Like you're working out with a teammate. Obviously, you're bigger. You're able to do a little bit more weight, and he like gets under 215, thinking like, oh yeah, John just repped it like it was nothing. I got this. Also, you just see him shaking to get it up there, and it's like we have all had that friend. We have all had that person that's like, yo, bro, see you put in time at the gym, like come with, let me come with you, let me join along, thinking that, oh yeah, I can throw up that same weight, and all of a sudden they're like, no, help me. It was just hilarious. Like he tells us, but he's like, big fella, go ahead and he's like, line up that way. He goes, no, I got it, and you just see it just go ankle and just just snaps, just snaps. And what was even funnier about the video was like you could tell the dude had just spent a shit ton of money on like getting like all the best gear. Like he had all the Noble stuff, and he had like the
First
Noble,
time out, yeah.
yeah, he had like
Oh
the
man,
Noble lifting shoes, and I'm like, that's great advertisement right there. It's hilarious, dude. I gotta find it again.
yeah, you gotta send me that. I mean, I was always the guy. I was definitely probably the guy that would like follow you, or like not follow you, but like lift with you, and I'd be like, all right, let's take off 3 plates, okay, on each side. I was probably one of the few people, honestly, that wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna try and lift as much as you lift. Like, not gonna happen, man. I'm definitely going to lift what I need to do and do it because I'm not you, you're not me. And basically, because I think I started at like my freshman year of high school with like 2.5 pounders on each side for squats. Like, dude, I was a freaking twig, and like I was probably like 5'5" in like my freshman year of high school. I ended up being like 6 foot, but like maybe like 120, 130 pounds, maybe. Then by my senior year, I was 165. I pushed it up. Obviously, my squats to like what, 3, which isn't crazy, but like 315. Which to me that was a lot.
For a guy with your stature, that's pretty impressive. A guy like me, it's like everyone would look at me and be like, this dude should be doing about 300 pounds.
Right. No, I know, and I know for me that was like the most that I ever did. I think it was just 1 rep. I think my junior or senior at Hofstra, and dude, like my legs were freaking yoked. Never touched my upper body. It was always just my legs.
Well,
But
that I didn't start even think about running any type of like plyometric stuff, any strength training, literally until I moved to Fresno, like
dude, I
seventh
didn't until
grade.
freshman year. I didn't do anything till freshman year because I didn't know that that was what people did.
Dude, seventh grade for me at Tenaya Middle School with Greg Bicknell and Anthony Telesco as my coaches was brutal. I couldn't run a full lap as as a I don't know, as like a 12-year-old or 11-year-old kid. Like I was huffing and puffing, I was dying, I was crying every single lap, and then all of a sudden they're like, all right guys, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and I'm like, what?
Now, now,
Yeah,
now, are you
how do you
sure?
how do you do that? Like I couldn't. Dude, I struggled with that. I remember Bronze and Pizzo just being absolute animals, dude. Like those two guys would. It was like full sprints for them when it came to running a mile, and then all of a sudden they
I
get into
hated those people,
push-ups.
man. I always hated
They,
those people.
yeah, they get into push-ups, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm just floating." Like it's just, woof, 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 woof. And then they're like sit-ups, and they're over there like throwing in like turns. They're doing like hand, I'm like, you guys are a bunch of freaking show-offs. Like I'm over here dying over here. My
How
belt.
long you been in juvie, bro? Doing all these and like,
Oh, you better hope Amanda doesn't see this podcast.
oh man, she's the sweetest.
She'll just be like, Lord, pray for them.
But I mean,
Bronze, if you watch this, we love Amanda. Don't we're just messing
and
around.
I'd be surprised if you watched this, but that'd be awesome if you did. I mean, the
Yeah,
guy's in
dude, why
recovery for
haven't
his
you bought a
freaking thumb,
hat? Why haven't you bought
right?
a freaking hat?
Just because you
If
haven't played golf doesn't mean you're not a dad.
Yeah, man, we used to promote your jerking videos, and you know, with all your premieres and your movie
Yes, his
aspirations, we were
acting
always
career.
there. We
Mm-hmm.
were all there for you. Why don't you buy a hat for us? You tell me you don't have $30. You cheap
Oh, he
SOB.
does. You're lucky we didn't give you one for Isaiah for your what was it baby
Yeah,
shower.
for your baby shower. You're so
Yeah.
lucky we didn't give you one.
Oh my gosh.
We should just tag him in the video when we post it. Just
Right.
post it on TikTok and be like, "Bronze, this one's for you, dog." He'll get a crack out of it.
Oh man, dude, I can't believe he tore
Yeah,
his ACL. That's nuts. Second
yeah, but
time, man.
I know, dude. I remember. I mean, we're going back to fucking glory days now, but I remember. I remember walking into Chachansey Park and seeing him get the ball, and he just gets wrecked. I just see feet fly up in the air. He comes down. All of a sudden, our friend Jesse Gonzalez just comes sprinting over to me. She's like, "Did you see him? He's still down. He's still." I was like, "I just walked in. Like I just walked in." I was like, "She goes, he's hurt. He's hurt bad. He's hurt bad." I'm like, "He's gonna be okay." And I
Dude, but
was
it's
like,
so.
"Oh."
I mean, but it's so random that you guys played at Chuck Chansey at baseball stadium, like so far away from freaking. I know you guys don't have a high school, like you don't have a football field, but it's just weird to me that you guys
Well,
didn't have.
if I had it right, it was like I think they played Hoover, which is that's like the big rivalry game because it's Battle of Barstow, right?
Mm.
And so that was the big rivalry game, um and yeah, so they always do it big. It's either at I think it was either at
Oh, they were doing it
Roosevelt.
then. You guys weren't just playing at your home games at Chuck Chansey
No, no,
usually.
no, no. I think the
Okay.
home games were uh shit. I don't even remember where the home games were.
Yeah.
Half the time I was just way too drunk to even know. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was just having my.
Yeah. No, I was always the guy taking care of all the drunk people. I was like, yeah, my truck's here. Like, take you home. Let's go. So, yeah. But,
Oh man.
anyways, though, I I still think that Live is making a huge impact on the PGA. I think
Yeah.
that I think that in the next year there's going to be a big surprise where they actually will follow through, or they actually will have a Live versus PGA
Everyone
like
would love that.
type of Ryder Cup, type of Ryder Cup where it's like the top players in Live versus the top players in the
Hmm.
PGA, but also I think they will open up the majors to Live players. I mean, it's what it needs, man.
They need the world golf rankings fixed because Brooks was what world golf rankings like 110 or over the 100, and in that, and he came in like second in the Masters or whatever. Like they're so wrong and so off on how they are set up right now, just to
Well,
screw over the
the
live
well
guys.
the world golf ranking is based off of the PGA,
No, I
like
know.
true events. So if they're not playing a full
Exactly,
tournament round,
but it's bogus. It's not even right because if you were to have someone like Patrick Reed, who obviously wouldn't even have that good of a golf ranking if he played on the PGA Tour, like he might be top 50, top 75, but nothing crazy.
lower.
But okay, but let's just say top 125. Regardless, maybe he's what, maybe 200, 300, and if he were to win, it's like wow, he's the lowest golf world golf ranking player to ever win a major. But it's like with an asterisk because it's not really the same. Like just because of the rankings are so off right now.
Yeah, yeah, you got a point, but again, like there will be things to come. Like I still
Yeah,
feel
I
like
agree.
the world golf ranking is just like the USGA. Everything is so far behind. They're just trying to figure out things to try and please the fans, please the people. You know, again, you have to remember when it comes major time, screw the world rankings, screw what league you're in, what tour you're in. Like, it's the best of the best. It's fair game. Anybody
Mm-hmm.
can do it. I mean, come on. If Daniel Willett could win a Masters, like, anything is possible.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. And I mean, like, I'm just looking right now because you mentioned the Ryder Cup. I saw recently over the last week or so, Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson were like, "Hey, we're ready. You know, if we ever are going to be asked to do the Ryder Cup, like, we're going to be ready and we would love to do it." And I really hope that because the next one is this year in Rome, Italy, which would be an
Oh
epic
wow,
trip.
that'd be sick.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, it's just like the majors. You don't want to be that person that won a major with like half of the top players out because they joined another thing, because everyone might put an asterisk on that even if you would have earned it otherwise. Like, there's no for sure way, and there's always, a damp on that parade. But you have to include the top players, because the
Yeah.
Ryder Cup isn't even like a 4-day event. It's not the traditional route, should I say. Maybe a 4-day event, yes, but like, it's not 4 rounds of 18 holes. It's such a match play. They have like different team events and things like that, where I think maybe even Live might prepare them more for this because they're used to playing on team event. They're used
Hmm.
to grinding, even if they're not doing that well, because other people might be able to pick them up. So I think that it'd be really interesting and smart, in my opinion, to host, or not host, but accept some Live players that are worthy. Not all of them are, but so you have the best versus, the best.
Just take the top ranked live players and throw them onto to different teams, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe add, instead of it just being U.S. versus Europe, like maybe throw in a third team,
Why does that always have to be the
battle
U.S.?
royale.
Why does it always have to be like the USA, one country versus like 30 countries, the top of the 30 countries? I know we're like the best and everything, but it always like
Because we're
grinds
the
my
land of the
gears.
free, man. We're the
No,
land of the free.
I know that, but I mean, like, come on, man. Like, we're one country, and like, it's
We're
like
one
USA
country
versus
that's
Europe, USA
we're
versus Asia. It's like,
we're
come
one
on,
country.
man.
We're one country that's in everyone's business, that we don't need to be there. So it's us versus the world. Simple
Pretty
as that.
much. Pretty
Yeah,
much, man. I mean, it's
it's the
always just
truth.
funny to me when that happens, because it's like, there was a Daniel Tosh stand up, and he's talking about the Olympics. It's always interesting, entertaining, watching the opening ceremonies. Here comes the Chinese team, with, Chinese people. And then, here comes, like a team from Africa, and, African people, just, waving and everything like that. And then here comes the, the United States, with like an African American, an Asian American, a white guy, like all these people blended in. But it's like
Yeah,
every other country is legitimately like 99% whatever that ethnicity is,
yeah,
and it's just like, we're such a mutt as like a country, that it's like, it really is like you said, USA versus the world, because we have so much mixture over here of everybody that is American, grew up American, born here, compared to other countries, and it kind of gets
we're all
boring.
we're
you
all
know
we're all just we're all just a bunch of sluts. Free love.
what is it from The Office? What's his name? Creed. He goes, "Yeah, I lived in the 60s and 70s. I made love with multiple women, and some, maybe if a man slipped in there, I don't
Yeah.
know. How would I
I don't know.
know?"
It was too dark to see.
Yeah.
I love that line. All right. So I know we've talked about this a few times, but like, dude, so YouTube golf, like YouTube content, golf content creators, I've been absolutely obsessed with Fat Perez and Bob Does Sports. Like, this man, sign him up for the tour. Somebody get this guy on an amateur, on like Corn Ferry, or start. I mean, Fat Perez, start doing some goddamn tournaments that get you into some qualifiers, dude. Like, your game is too good just to be enjoyed by people like me sitting at my desk working and passing time, just until my next meeting, watching you just throw absolute darts. Like, have you
I would
watched
love to
this
watch
guy?
it. I would love to watch. I would love to watch not events, maybe just like a match play, just him versus somebody else, but legit, because I know, like,
They
playing a
should do like
foursome.
they should do like a content creators versus pros. Like
Yeah. Oh,
YouTube
that'd be dope. I
classic.
would watch that. I would love that. I mean, like you played in scram. I'm sure a handful of
Yeah,
scrambles. You know, so
yeah,
you understand how a scramble works and what to expect. But I'm sure if you're the last player on a scramble that's hitting, and you're either in the fairway, you're either on the green, and you can be much more aggressive. That does benefit you. He's definitely the best one on the Bob Does Sports, group.
hey,
Like with
cold cuts
everything,
is pretty good too.
but like with his full game, not just
Oh
saying
yeah,
like
yeah,
only drives or only
yeah.
putting. Like with he's very well rounded as a player, and it would definitely be interesting to see how well he does on his own, because I know he's good enough to hold his own, but just to really see how he does, because like you said, he's got his drives are always down the fairway. His short game
275
is
on the dot.
his short game's great. He's a great putter, so like he's great in the sand. It would just be cool to see him versus somebody, because I think they did a him versus
Max Homa.
not not no who was it, the caddy for Bo Hustler. It was for them. They actually, if you want to watch the video, it's just him versus, they bet. I think it was Joey Coldcuts and Bob Does Sport, or Bob. They bet who would win, and I think Fat Perez lost barely,
Mm-hmm.
or they tied. I think they might have tied, but it was really cool to see that. And it was
But
also Bo Hostler's caddy's home course, so he knew all the ins and outs and where to go. He had some drives that were like, "Where are you going?" And like he cut the corner perfectly because he'd play there. But it was really cool to see him on his own, how he would hold up, and he did really well.
I mean, watch the video of him going against Max Homa. Like even Max is like speechless. He's just like
Well, did you see
that.
the one with him and who's the other guy that they recently just played with, the foursome? It was like John Rahm, Xander Schauffele. Did you see that one?
Oh yeah, and Ricky Fowler, I think.
I no Ricky. What I don't think Ricky. Ricky wasn't on that, was he?
They just put one up. They just put one up 9 days ago where they're playing Pelican Bay, and they're playing against Big Wave Dave. I don't know who that guy is.
That was the one.
Oh
That's
no,
the
that
one.
was
That's
Bo
the
Hostler.
caddy.
Yeah, that was Bo
Yeah, it's
Hostler.
the
Yeah,
caddy.
yeah,
But when I'm talking about, it was like Xander Schauffele, like you said, he was watching him and he was just like, wow, like the swing, he has like the grooves up. He did like this
yeah,
full like analysis of like what he was like, flighted it well, high flight, like it came in right. And it's just
yeah,
like when the top pros obviously notice that when they're there, it's definitely something where you watch it on YouTube, you're like, oh cool, like that's awesome. But then you see it
yeah,
in
dude.
person, you're like, oh dang, I did not expect it to be like that.
Well, like I said, I would love to see like a content creator, like a YouTube golf content creator versus pros, like
Mm-hmm.
with like obviously Bryson DeChambeau's got a huge following. You got Max Homa. You obviously have you got Kyle Berkshire, who's in mini tours. You got
The good
no, but
boys.
those guys are still content creators. But I
Oh, you
mean,
mean pros? You mean like pros that
yeah,
can
like
actually?
you
Okay.
got John Rahm, who's starting to make a pretty big presence within YouTube. Same with Bubba Watson.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine, like, let's just say, I would love to see Grant Horvath against some of these players because this dude seems to think that he's got the best game. And he's always like, "Oh yeah, dude, I just missed that one, and I shot 65. Oh man, like, I mean, shut up and just hit the ball." I would love to see. I would love to see Claire Hogue go up against maybe like I don't know,
Jessica
Lydia.
Corda, or one of the Corda
Yeah,
sisters.
Lydia
Lydia
Ko, or
Co.
yeah,
Yeah.
or even Thompson. What's her name? Lexi. I'd love to
Lexi.
see her.
Yep.
Love to see her go against that, even though drives may be like 90 yards past her. But then see like Kyle Berkshire go up against Bryson. See Grant go up against John Rahm. See Micah go up against like Homa, and then Fat Perez coming up the rear with like Xander
Pat
Schauffele.
Perez.
Yeah,
Pat Perez versus Fat Perez. The
yeah, Fat
showdown of the
Perez versus
Perez.
Fat Perez. Yeah, player B versus player A. Like, I would love to see something like that, dude. Like, I think that'd be sick. But then, like, to do it live, like
Hmm.
actually have like YouTube and some of those guys like out there with like the YouTube live streams. That'd be sick.
No, dude, that'd be
That'd
dope.
be sick.
That'd be really cool.
We're just out here throwing $1 million ideas out here, man. Just what we do.
I know, and that one lucky person who's gonna find us and find this idea.
Oh, yeah, exactly. They're going to need to give us some royalties. But so a lot of you guys don't know this, but me and John had a golf venture called Up and Down Golf, where we tried to make a golf application where you could play with your friends, have like live bidding. You already have games like Bingo Bango Bongo, Wolf, and skins games where it was an automated payout system like that we were trying to develop. We got it to like a beta, and unfortunately, things just kind of changed, and then California gambling laws got more stricter, and we were like, we're shutting it down. But I don't know if you saw this on YouTube, but they with Micah Grant, Kyle Berkshire, I think Claire was on there too. Some guy named George, who is a pro. Um, there's an app out there called T Box, and it's literally the same exact thing that we had built.
Shut up.
Swear,
You better talk to your guy. Make sure you sell the idea somewhere.
dude. That dude's a crypto billionaire now somewhere. I don't know what he's doing. He's out there building like AI VR technology for drones in the military as well. But yeah,
Okay.
it's called T Box Golf. Yeah, T Box app. There you go. And that's literally what it is. It's a place where you can go and have like scramble. You can have scramble setups. You can have match play. You can have stroke play setups. And at the end, if you can add pieces where you're playing for money, and bam, it just goes right in.
That's so annoying.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Dang.
But again, they're not California based, so that's where things can kind of.
Yeah, we can start that up again.
I mean, we can do something. We can do something else and just make us Delaware C corp to where we're not associated with California.
There we go.
But
so,
all
but yeah,
right,
I mean,
guys.
yeah.
Oh,
No, I was gonna say, I think it's a good time to wrap her up for this episode.
Man,
I
it's
know.
just starting to get good.
Oh, I know. We can go movie quotes all day.
Yeah, movie quotes. But yeah, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. It's been a heck of a Wednesday, so hope you guys are all having great weeks. I just took a look at the TikTok, and we appreciate the growth. I mean, our goal ultimately would be to get to 1,000 followers, so at least we can get a stream key from TikTok, so we can, basically do two kinds of streams where we have, we're streaming here, and then we can stream it over onto live on TikTok to where you guys can be a little bit more involved, ask questions, really kind of tell us like topics you want to hear more of, or even just do Q&As. We can invite like the Bogey Boys. We can invite, Danny Dalla. We can invite all these guys, Chunk at Golf. Would love to, meet you guys and chat. We greatly appreciate all the support. And yeah, guys, make sure to give us a follow, hit the subscribe button. We're on YouTube and Spotify. Like we're just out here just trying to have fun. And remember, we got tons of hats left. John's repping one. My hair's all combed, so I just didn't put one on today. But we got the gender reveal there. Got tons of hats. Hit us up on Instagram or TikTok with a DM, and we'll get you guys fitted. Also, once again, go help out Patty O'Shea at Upside. Get yourself something nice with a rangefinder, phone mount, thunder stick, magnetic towels. He's got it all. And use Fore Dads for promo code to get yourself 20% off. I hope you guys enjoy this, and have yourselves a great rest of the week.